Helping others can help us feel good and give us a sense of purpose. But for many people, it's easy to get stuck in the habit of overextending yourself by doing too much to try and please other people.
And our next guest says that when you constantly prioritize others' needs over your own, it can actually take a real toll on your own mental health. Amy Wilson joins us now. She's the author of Happy to Help, Adventures of a People Pleaser, which is a collection of essays that just came out this month. So first off, Amy, congratulations.
Thank you.
That
Love
is
the
a big
title.
deal. Yeah, it's a great
title.
It's great. Listen, you talk about the way that we are conditioned to be this way. What do you mean by that?
Yes, women in particular, I think, are conditioned from a young age to be helpers, to help out around the house, to not make a big deal about it, to seem happy while you're doing it, to whistle while you work. And I think as we get older, this idea that we're a happy helper doesn't really want help. She would really prefer to do it all herself. She wants things a certain way, and so helping her wouldn't be possible. She's particular. She wouldn't let people help her. That's right. And so you can get stuck in a real pattern, I think, of over-delivering and having that not be reciprocated and not knowing what to do about that.
And it comes at the expense of your own mental health and well-being. In your book, you say as long as we put the expectations on ourselves, both to do more than we can handle and to fix our own feelings about that, nothing much will change. So how do we unlearn some of those things that were conditioned into us as young kids and accept that it's okay not to be a people pleaser?
Well, I think the first step is to learn that it isn't something that you're choosing to do. It's something that was sort of ingrained in you from a young age. And so you're not a bad person for having fewer boundaries in your life. That was the assignment. And some of us really chased that assignment. We excelled at the assignment. You know, scouts, when they're little, Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts take the pledge to help other people at all times.
Wow.
Which is a lot to put in a little kid.
Sure.
And I guess most of them ignore that. I think I was said, okay, that's my job. I will help other people at all times. Doesn't matter if I want to. Doesn't matter if I need help myself. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. Yeah, so I think unlearning that is first recognizing, I was taught that very carefully, one step at a time. And it doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me somebody who likes to make things harder than they need to be. I'm somebody who needs to reset the systems around me.
Tactical and practical.
Yeah.
What can we do to stop?
Well, the key to learning to get better at saying no is not saying yes in the first place, I think, to not obligate ourselves into these things. And one thing I've learned that's really helped me is to turn off the notifications on my phone so that I don't hear the ping of can anybody else do this? Can somebody sign up for this next week? To not be the first person to see that, because when I do see that request, I feel like I don't want to, but maybe I could just for a little while, right?
Almost a Pavlov response.
Yes, I can. And just because you can doesn't mean you should. And sort of just delaying seeing that request sometimes gives time for somebody else to come in and pick up the slack for a change.
Give yourself permission to say no. You also looked into some of the research on multitasking. I'm fascinated by this.
Yes.
I'm not a believer in multitasking. I don't think you can really do it or do it well.
Well, that's what the science says. The science says that nobody is good at multitasking, that it does tax your brain to be trying to do more than one thing at once. But for a long time, there's been this idea that women are naturally better than men at multitasking, that our brains are just different, and so we can just handle these 10 things at once. So I looked into the research and the studies researching this book. That is not the case.
Really?
In fact, women and men are equally terrible at multitasking, and we do...
Husbands, do you hear that?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. We do more of it without being any better at it.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Amy Wilson, this has been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stay with us, folks. Much more news ahead. You're watching NBC News Daily.